We continued discussing Shane Parrish's Clear Thinking. This is the second part of the interpretation, and the book's theme revolves around clear thinking in various aspects of daily life. Even in tiny moments you may not realize are significant. The goal is to make clear decisions in these small details, gradually breaking free from the trap of mediocrity. This is challenging because you are often at odds with your own instincts. A common strategy is to pause automatic reactions. The best way is to use a ritual. Take professional basketball players shooting free throws, for example. They don't just grab the ball and shoot, they take a moment to dribble. Termed dribbling, feeling the ball's rhythm before taking the shot. This is a pause. Everyone on the court, along with the spectators, must wait because I need to shift my focus from the intense competition a moment ago to the stationary free throw in front of me. I need to ensure clear thinking. Yao Ming, one of the NBA's most accurate free throw shooters, once shared his secret at a dinner after retiring. His parents taught him to fix his free throw routine from a young age. Initially, he dribbled 4 times before shooting. Later, a coach suggested dribbling 5 times, taking more time. Later, Coach Fei Wong asked Yao Ming to raise the stopping point after dribbling and before shooting to the height of his nose, and stabilize it before shooting. From then until retirement, Yao Ming's free throw motion remained unchanged. You have to reach this level. Compared to ordinary people, professional players can seemingly make free throws casually, but they don't do it casually. Only ordinary people do. Perhaps influenced by martial arts and romantic dramas, people often believe that those who are less serious, more carefree, and indulgent can achieve greater success. They think winning is not enough, it must be effortless to demonstrate beauty. It's foolish and a fantasy of artistic youth. Effortless victories only happen against ordinary people, it shows you enjoy mediocre challenges. You won't beat the experts. True strength comes from dedicating yourself and investing much more effort than others. Before each free throw, Yao Ming dribbled 5 times. Why can't you take 3 deep breaths before responding to someone's criticism? A pause makes your image more powerful. More challenging than pausing is knowing when to pause. We often tend to act automatically based on default patterns. Parrish suggests that improving action is not about using willpower to overcome default modes, but replacing bad default modes with good ones. Yao Ming doesn't tell himself to pause before every free throw and then decide to dribble 5 times, he automatically dribbles 5 times. You should automatically take 3 deep breaths before every speech. Parrish says it's not about eliminating inertia, it's about having good inertia. You can imagine yourself as an AI composed of several neural networks. It's essentially a matter of neural network training. There are 2 main strategies. Controlling existing weak neural networks and actively training good ones, both discussed in this section. One is control, the other is rewriting, a bit like changing your destiny. Considering humans as biological machines, the goal is to upgrade from a hardware perspective. In simple terms, you need to upgrade to a strong personality. Strength is about high standards. One of the brilliance of Parrish's book is that he precise some common concepts so that you can clearly understand what this concept means and how to use it. Take standards, for example. We've mentioned Bill Belichick, the head coach of the NFL's New England Patriots, before. One of his players, Darrelle Revis, a star cornerback, was a few minutes late for practice once. Belichick did not waste any time criticizing Revis, but simply sent him home. If you're late today, don't practice. That's the standard. Most people understand that standards are management rules that are made for others to see. Since there are exceptions to the rule, maybe Revis encountered an accident on the road that day and it was excusable. As long as it was explained clearly, other players would not say anything. But in Parrish's context, standards are not governing rules. Standards are the material library for training neural networks. Garbage in, garbage out. To train a high-level neural network, you need to ensure only high-level material is used. It doesn't matter whether it's fair or unfair to Revis, the important thing is not to pollute my training materials. As Parrish puts it, standards become habits, habits become results. If you do the same as everyone else, you can only expect the same results. To achieve different results, you must raise your standards. Mediocre individuals lower their standards for various reasons. If the previous performance had a full audience, we'd give our all. If there are few spectators this time, coupled with fatigue, we just do our best. This isn't just disappointing for the audience, but also for yourself. Your neural network gets contaminated. You must ensure that every piece of work you deliver is your best. To maintain high standards, you need to know what the best looks like. A good way is to use role models. Role models are usually seen as anyone worth learning from, but Parrish sees them as forces that compel you to uphold high standards. Parrish encountered several role models during his growth. Once, when the company assigned him a job, he discussed his understanding of the project and plans at a meeting. As he was talking, an expert present interrupted Parrish. "I don't know what the rules are in your hometown. The rule here is that if you don't know what you are talking about, don't speak." Then the expert listed the key points of the project one by one, and Parrish was convinced on the spot. Programming masters don't accept ugly code, and communication experts don't accept hastily composed emails. Role models aren't just for admiration. They make you uncomfortable, like a thorn in your side. Being scolded by a master is a fortunate learning experience. If you don't have experts around to provide feedback, Parrish suggests learning from heroes, including historical figures, creating a board of directors for yourself, a coaching team tailored to your needs. He didn't mention AI, but a virtual board of directors is a role-playing game ChatGPT excels at, and now is a perfect time to try it. However, Parrish has strict criteria for the board. Members must possess the skills, attitudes, or characters you want to cultivate, with both high achievements and high integrity. The board's composition should adjust as you grow. This is serious training, not just for fun. You have to train 4 neural networks. 1 is self-knowledge. Know what you can and cannot do, your strengths and weaknesses, what you can and cannot control, and what you know and do not know. Understand your ability boundaries, known as Buffett's circle of competence. Don't try to do everything. Don't play games where others excel but you don't. Another is self-control. Manage your emotions and weaknesses. We've discussed this extensively. A good approach is to distance yourself from your emotions, treating them like external objects. 1 is self-confidence. Believe in your abilities and value. True confidence comes from accomplishing things. If you've achieved a lot, even if everyone in the room looks down on you, it won't bother you. Confidence arises from doing things, and confident people are willing to change their views based on facts. Confidence allows you to focus on doing the right thing rather than being the right person. Confidence is the power to face reality. The 4th neural network is more forceful, called self-accountability. As Kevin Kelly said, the foundation of maturity is that, even if it's not your fault, it's still your responsibility. Parrish echoes this sentiment. In a past software development project, Parrish was assigned a critical coding role. Simultaneously, he was involved in another project, attending many meetings, and was incredibly busy. The software was due on a Sunday night, but Sunday morning arrived, and Parrish hadn't finished his code. He rushed to the office. Upon arriving, his leader berated him, saying his code should have been completed 2 days ago. Parrish argued that he had been extremely busy and had planned to start on Friday morning, but heavy snow caused a 2-hour delay in his bus commute. The leader interrupted, saying, "Stop making excuses, this is your fault. You must finish today." However, Parrish didn't start coding. Feeling a strong threat, he had to defend his image. He wrote an email to the leader, listing everything he had done that week, participation in multiple projects, helping numerous people, in great detail. The leader replied immediately. "I don't care. Completing the task is your responsibility. If you can't handle it, quit." Looking back, Parrish realized the leader was right. Even if it wasn't his fault, it was his responsibility. All his explanations were meaningless, it was just complaining. Complaining is bargaining with the world about how it should operate. What you should do is accept how the world operates. Strong individuals don't complain. They focus on the next actionable step, considering what will be most beneficial in the future. I believe neural networks serve as an excellent analogy because AI certainly doesn't complain. Complaining, of course, is a human function, but what you need to do is temporarily disable the ineffective function for problem solving. You must let a dominant personality take charge automatically in this action. Even from an aesthetic standpoint, you know what's right. For example, when you watch a TV show and a character is constantly complaining, you might sympathize with them, but you surely don't want to become like them. Because you don't want to play the victim. Parrish's insight is that when you complain, you become a victim. Complaining about the objective environment, blaming teammates, making excuses for yourself, shifting blame to others even if everything you say is true, you're still a victim. Friends may excuse you, and family may comfort you, but you're still a victim. Being a victim once, when it's not your fault, is scary. But what's truly terrifying is training yourself to be a long-term victim. You'll feel helpless and powerless, even leading to despair, what we've called learned helplessness. Parrish says, no successful person wants to work with a long-term victim. Only other victims are willing to work with victims. Strong individuals don't play the victim. Regardless of whose fault it is, it's their responsibility, accepting reality and asking, what's the next step? The essence of this section is training. Everything you do trains your neural networks. Choose your actions wisely.
If you feel there is value in this, please like, subscribe to this channel, and leave your thoughts or suggestions in the comments section. Let's grow together and read more good books.